Hi, APCSA students. Welcome to today's lesson on decomposition. So you should have defined this earlier in your Nearpod activity, but just to review, decomposition is when you divide a problem into small, more manageable pieces. Now we are looking at a drawing of 3 boxes, and you were given the opportunity to say how many print statements you believed that you would need in order to construct this drawing. And essentially, your answer depended on how you decomposed the problem. So if you said you would need at least 10 print statements, it's likely that you decompose the problem as one problem to solve. I'm going to print each separate line of the drawing separately, and so you considered it as a whole problem. So you would essentially, do system dot out dot print ln, and then you would print this line of code. And then you would do the same thing and you would print this line of code. And then this would be 3, 4. You need a blank line. And remember, we do system.out.println, and then a blank line of code is an empty string. So that'd be number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lines of code. So if you would decompose this in your mind as I'm just going to print each line of code separately, you would need 14 lines of code. So that falls under the at least 10 lines of code category. Now, if you thought about it a different way, though, you may have answered differently. So, for example, if you thought about it more in this way, where I'm going to draw a box and then I'm going to insert a blank line, and I can repeat draw a box more than one time. So you've decomposed this into 2 problems instead of one: how to draw a box, how to insert a blank line. So in this case, we would need 4 lines of code to draw the box. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we would need 1 line of code to draw the blank line. And what you would do is then for these, you would call, box and blank line, and then box. But you would be reusing the abstraction that you created here and not have to repeat the print statements. You would only need 5 print statements in order to construct this entire drawing, because you're reusing box and you're reusing the blank line. All right, there was a third option, and again, it depends on how you thought about the decomposition. So in the third option, you could do it in less than 5 lines. So what you've broken this into is even more abstraction. So instead of breaking down draw a box into just, I'm going to use 4 lines to draw a box, you could draw the horizontal line. So that would be 1 print statement, and then draw 2 vertical lines, which would make 2 and 3 to draw them together. And then the 4th line of drawing just the blank line. And then you could bulk those together and call it draw box, and along with insert blank line, and repeatedly call them then for drawing the remainder of the boxes. So you could even break this down even more and use, draw 1 vertical line. And that would eliminate one of these print statements because you would print one, and then for draw two vertical lines, you would call that one printed line twice. But that actually takes more lines of code, less print statements, but more lines of code. So you could technically do this in as little as 3 print statements. Then reusing those print statements through your functions or methods then allows you to solve the problem of drawing a whole box and then drawing all 3 stacked boxes.